You can actually go through something and God still can use it for his good. So let God navigate you through your lively challenge. Let him be in the driver's seat. Let Jesus take the wheel because he's steering you in the right direction. But when you stop and do it on your own, you're heading in the wrong direction. You've been giving into your fleshly desires. You've been giving into comparison spirits. You just want to receive a blessing. You don't even care where it comes from. But don't be like that. We all been in a moment where we just want a blessing. We don't care how it comes and what form or which shape. We just want the blessing because we want to feel good. We want to feel whole. We want to feel like we're not empty anymore. But this all can cause a roadblock. And you wonder why you're not healing. Welcome back, where we share, testimonies, where we actually just be real, authentic with each other, and no hidden agendas. So today, the title of this message for this podcast of life experience is embracing the life detours. See, sometimes life will show us that it has a way to take a turning point. And sometimes the pivot moment be either good or it can either be bad. And I remember a time in my life, before I go any further, I like to share a testimony with y'all when I feel like my life took a turn for the worse. That's what I thought. But in actuality, God was actually using it to build me, to also help me to come out of a season, a headspace of always thinking negative. So when we go through these detours, don't take it as a bad thing. Don't take it as just being a roadblock. Sometimes that's actually God's protection over your life. So this is why I want to choose this message to speak to someone, to give somebody hope today. So when you're going through something and you feel like there's a stopping point, don't think about, okay, this is what God doesn't want to give to me. Actually say, am I ready for it? Do I have the capacity to hold on to this? See, God is teaching us lessons. We all have to go through a certain lesson to get to the other side. So think about this for illustration. You're driving a car and a mile up ahead, there's a wreck and you trying to get to somewhere that you need to be in a timely manner. But this roadblock up there is keeping you from doing that. So you looking for a detour. That's the same way with God. Sometimes you'll see something that's not working for you. You have to go back to God to get the instructions so you can maneuver through whatever obstacle that you was going through and still make it there on time. See, this is why I say you are not supposed to be out here focusing and thinking you're supposed to move on your time when you're actually supposed to be moving on God's timing. So stop trying to rush to get to somewhere that you're not ready to get to. Because when you do this, this is where chaos starts to happen. This is where you start to feel like, okay, I'm being attacked. No, you're not being attacked. You just wasn't ready for it. See, this is why God is positioning you and he's stretching you in a season that you may be currently in. So don't look at your season as just being a season. Look at it as a season where you're going to come out and you're going to have unshakable faith. You're going to be able to blossom. You're going to be able to flourish. So these detours in my life help me to be able to come on here to actually help y'all to fight, to actually give you a better, understanding when you're going through certain things. And my outlook may be different from yours, but it's all because God stepped in and gave me the wisdom so I can come out here and share with others. And this is where it gets very personal for me because I know when I look back, it was all because the grace of God helped me to get where I'm at now. So don't be because it didn't happen yet, knowing it will happen on God's timing. So in this moment, I just like to encourage someone. Don't be there stuck and blocking your blessing because you feel like it's not going to happen for you. It will, all in the time, all in the matter. Just continue to take it day by day, grace by grace. And for me, it was actually start to read his words. At first, when I started reading the Bible, I didn't understand. And maybe a lot of y'all, when y'all read the Bible, you don't understand. Or something grab your attention and you be like, I'm going to try that later. That's the enemy wants you to get away from, coming into, agreement and God meeting you where you are to help you to understand. See, the enemy watches us too. He don't watch the ones that he already have. He watches the one that's trying to build a relationship with God. So this is why I say lively detours. That can be a moment where he blocked what you're trying to receive from God, or actually what God is trying to give you in that moment. But he'll put something that you are currently entertaining. That could be in your relationship. That can be in just a job. That can be the things and your desires of your heart. And it's making you sit there and be in comfortability. Like you just comfortable in your environment. So when you are going through these things, it's not only just lively, detours, it's distractions that set into place, not by God, by the enemy. But it's up to us to go to God to help us to break these strongholds or whatever this generational curse. Because a lot of us are still living in generational curses. And it's not because of us. It's something that happened way before us, before our time. But as you go to God and continue to pray hard, fast, read his word, fellowship, be consistent in your prayer life, you have the ability to break whatever stronghold or whatever curse that your family have. You have the way to set up generational wealth. If I can actually tell y'all that this is the process, I'm gonna help you out. And you start by increasing your faith every day, by expressing gratitude. Before you grab your phone, before you do anything, take that moment with God. And I'm telling you, it's going to change the alternative or how you perceive or even look or even how your day is conducted. You're going to know that God is everywhere. Evidence is always around you. And you're going to be able to say, okay, even though I may go through this, trial or tribulation, God is holding my hand and he's navigating me. Even when in the midst, I feel like he's solid. He's still there. So when you're going through adversity, grieving, and I've been there. I've been through grieving. Still currently going through it. It can hit you at the randomest. It can hit you at the random moment. The randomest moment. And it makes you feel like, man, I was already good. But don't let that make you feel like I have to stop. You don't have to stop. You have to continue to keep going. Even though there's something that's stopping you at that moment, don't let it continuously stop you each day that you wake up because you're still sitting in your feelings. You have to come out of your feelings. And when you're coming out of your feelings, God is right there, ready to intervene, ready for you to give it to him, ready for you to hand over the ownership of whatever has been burdening you for a long time. See, there was a time, what Jesus said in the Bible, to his disciples, that if you actually believe, and just like he told Elijah when he was on top of that mountain, how I'm going to lead these people out of Israel, that you don't have to worry about that because Jesus paid for our sins. He also is our salvation that burns freely inside of us. He also is the one that we look to for eternal life. So when you know these things and start getting deeper into your conversations and deeper into your studying of the word, you're going to know that everything that we go through, all the stories in the Bible, Daniel, Joseph, Job, they all went through so much challenges, insurmountable challenges, but they didn't break their faith. They continued to trust in God, even though they had this feeling of being scared, that that they was being scared, what was to come. But they didn't let that stop them for continue to keep going. When Daniel, went out there and faced Goliath, he didn't have no plan. He trusted in God to equip him for what he needs to do to slay, that Goliath. But when you're going through these obstacles, it's hard. Trust me, I know it's real hard because we'll look at it and be like, man, this is it. I can't go no further. I took enough of a beating. I'm tired. In that moment, you have two choices. Either sit in it or actually bring it to God so he can bring his glory into it so it can settle. So when you learn that God is settling in every situation that you go through, you're going to begin to see like, oh, I'm not going to worry. I'm going to trust because worry is affecting you. And that's a worship of the devil of you actually sit there and worry. But when you pray and don't worry about it, you come into agreement with the promises that God already have for your life. So When I learned that and I changed my thought pattern and I just learned that, okay, stop leaning to your own understanding, trust in his plan, because there's a plan set in place. So it's a date and time that you may go through something and you be like, why, God? Why not you? Because he sees something in you. He sees potential because he created you. So when these lively, ups and downs, highs and lows takes effect, don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect the way you praise and worship God. Don't let it stray you away from God because life has a way of taking us and beating us down. Life has a way of throwing curveballs. I've been through so many curveballs, but I continue to keep going. And the enemy looks at me like, I done tried everything to break him. You can't break me. Like Deion Sanders said, you can't break me because you didn't make me. I may bend a little bit. I may bend a little bit, and I may even stretch a little bit. But when God has a calling on your life, he has a calling on your life. So not saying get comfortable in what you're going through. I'm saying learn what you're going through because there's room for opportunity to grow spiritually, mentally, and physically. So I want you to get this, what I'm about to tell y'all. Actually go through something while you steering your own wheel. You can head down the wrong path. But when you actually let God take your driver's seat, he's going to steer and navigate you in the right direction. Not saying that you're not going to go through more detours. What I'm saying is that he's going to make sure you're protected, that you're safe, that you're continuing to follow and surrender according to his will. See, this is where we make a lot of mistakes and we hold ourselves in an unforgiveness state of mind because we don't free ourselves, even though God frees us from, the mistakes that we made, from falling short of his grace. But we'll hold ourselves in contentment and into this prison that makes us feel like this is how our life is always going to go, where we hit this stumbling block, where we're going to run into a roadblock, and we're not going to be sure if we're going to make it to the other side of the roadblock. This is where I want to say your fate is going to play a major part. See, your fate is going to take you into rooms that you didn't believe that you were supposed to be in. Even though a door may close several times in your face, not saying it's not going to happen. It's going to happen according to the divine timing of God. God has the power to close and open doors. See, doors that you haven't stepped across the threshold at. God is going to make room for you. See, God is going to expand your territory. But we have to go through life challenges. It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard. Some days you wake up and you want to say, look, I just want to give up. But you can't give up. You can't stop there. Just because it has a stopping point, it's not actually a stopping point. It's a pausing point for you to actually learn something from it. And once you learn from it, it's just like a timeline. You have a point where you start and it has a point where you finish. See, God knows your starting point and he knows your ending point. So in between the start and ending point, you're going to have so many obstacles to learn from. You're going to have so many trials to go through, but all those things is strengthening your faith. It's strengthening your character. It's giving you the wisdom, the knowledge to go through life to teach someone else. See, God put us on earth for us to be humble servants of him. Not only just servants of him, we all can help each other. See, sometimes we want to get rid of people that God actually intended for to help us to go through that certain season, but we're a shadow away because we don't want to be affected by that person because we feel like that person is not good for us. This is where you need to go to God to get the clarity. And once you get the clarity, you understand like, okay, this was all part of God's teaching. This was all part of God's plan for my life. See, at that moment, it may not make sense to you, but it's actually working for you. I'm going to say that part again for somebody. See, you going through something and you actually thinking it's not good for you, but it's also something to teach you because God is trying to teach you in a situation. So stop being hard up about a lot of things, even though it may cause pain. Don't let the pain turn into pressure. Rise above the pressure and turn that pressure into purpose. See, when you discovering things in life, it's hard for a lot of us because we want to search the world for validation. As a man, we can't really be vulnerable because that's what society taught us. This is what we grew up in. the environment. Hey, if you fall and scrape your knee, stop crying, brush yourself off, and keep going. So that actually just, you know, instill in our mind that our theory of this is how man supposed to be. He's not supposed to cry. He's not supposed to say, okay, I'm feminine, or I don't have feelings. Yes, you have feelings. You should be able to, talk about your feelings, express your feelings, feel the pain that someone caused, but don't stop there. This is why I say I chose this topic to get y'all to understand. You have to break away from these things that's holding you back. See, this roadblock may cause you to fumble the blessing. This may cause you to be back miles and miles and just taking so many detours because you're not looking from your spiritual standpoint. You're not looking from your spiritual eye because you're only looking at the world how you want to look at the world. This is what I say in the Bible. It says, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And sometimes the road that you plan to go down is not the road that God is taking you down. And it's okay because that's part of the detours. See, it's going to set you up for a divine setup, a divine appointing. See, sometimes you have to hit that stumbling block so you can go back and turn around and go to God. But here's the thing. When you turn around, God is not going to He's not going to be where you left him at. He's going to be where you're currently at because God never leaves you or never forsake you. So I want to say this again. Just because you stray away from God, God is not going to be lost. He's still following you. So you can always turn back to God and he's right there. So when you're going through these delays, it's the divine direction to direct your path, to order your steps. Don't take what you're going through and feel like you don't have the understanding. You are learning something. Take this as a learning curve, because when you take this as a learning curve, it shows to God like, okay, he trusted me, she trusted me, and they're going to be able to see that I can keep doing things into their life. So I encourage you to keep walking, keep being faithful, even when you feel like it's not working in your favor. It's actually working in your favor, and God is there to be your Lord and your Savior. So when the doors close in front of your face, don't look at it as, okay, this may not work for me. It will work, but it's just not going to work in your own situation. It's going to work in God's path. See, God has a path that's intended for you, right? So it's all a part of his path that he has for you to help you to discover this purpose, the path of your purpose. So when you are going through these things, look for it to set you up to build patience, to build strength, because we all in this world is impatient because it's by the things that we see on social media. You get on TikTok, you want to be like your favorite influencer. You get on Instagram, you see somebody highlight reel. That doesn't mean they didn't have so many stumbling blocks or roadblocks. They accept it, they trust in God, they build their relationship. But that's their relationship with God. Focus on your own relationship with God. And this is why I want to help encourage somebody today to start focusing on your own relationship with God, because you're going to miss the mark. You're going to miss what God has for you because you want to be greedy and you want to hold things that somebody else have. You want a piece of their portion, but that's not your portion. Your portion is to get it from God. So when you're going through these lively challenges and you feel like your downs is getting the best of you, it's not getting the best of you. You're allowing it to. I'm gonna say this again. You're allowing your downs to get the best of you, but it could take one prayer. It could take one truthful moment to lift your spirit, and it's through God that He's gonna lift your spirit. So I hope this message really encouraged someone today to understand by you embracing the change, accepting the things that you can't change, and therefore say, okay, I may have a roadblock today, but God can make a way. He has a way to make anything impossible possible. He has a way to make the unbelievers be believable, to believe that he's still in the business of doing miracles and performing procedures of blessings. So when you're going through this roadblock today, or whenever you watch this podcast episode, I just want you to know, for the viewers that's live watching this right now, I just want y'all to know, don't let nobody tell you this is it. This is where you're supposed to be. No, that's not where you're supposed to be. It's what God is bringing you through. He's bringing you through it to lead you to it. He's leading you to the promise, because in all his promises, there's provision. You just have to be faithful enough. Have the faith of a mustard seed. And I'm telling you, God gonna make that seed grow inside of you. So accept the things that you cannot change today and embrace the things that's in your control. And that's by being faithful, trusting in God, and know that he's going to work on your behalf. Hey, this is my time on my podcast. Like I say, I appreciate y'all for watching my podcast. Uh, y'all can ask me any kind of questions and I'll surely get back to y'all. And if y'all want me to discuss anything else, type it below in the comments and I'll do the next episode on the most comments that I see that's relatable. And I can pray to God and ask him to give me the ability to speak on it, give me the wisdom to speak on it. But I really appreciate y'all for taking the time to watch this episode about embracing life detours and faith. So increase your faith, talk to God, and keep him in everything that you go through. Remember what I said. Keep God in your driver's seat. Let him take the wheel because you've been steering in the wrong direction. AMT Howard, signing out.